we would do something fun. I love a little bit of a good series, and I thought I would do one because I've gotten a whole bunch of questions about being prepared for spring, summer weather. Preparing, with new, which blushes do you pull out, which highlighters do you use, which face primers, that kind of a thing. And I thought we'd do that together because this is something I do every year. When the warmer weather comes, there's certain things you pull out of your stash and you want to use because, that's like, the best time of the year to use them. So I thought we'd do it together, and I thought I'd start off with the first thing that I know I am the most concerned about when it gets warm, and that's what's going on under my makeup with my face and eye primers and that stuff, pressed powders, loose powders, that kind of thing. So that's what I'm going to go over with you today. My favorites, drugstore wise as well as high end, in all of those categories. So here we go. Now, I had to start with this because I am so concerned with, keeping oil at bay. I have combination skin, and my T-zone is the bane of my existence. It really, really is. So most of these categories, I have 2 products to show you, a drugstore favorite and a high-end favorite, but when it comes to face primers, I got 4 to show you. And that's because I want you to have a lot of different options, see what you can find out there, and I do really have like 4 favorites. So the favorites at the drugstore are the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. This is relatively new. It came out a couple months ago, and I love it. And then my old standby that I love and talk about every year is Black Radiance Complexion Perfection, which happens to be $6. This one I feel like was 7 something, but is readily available at CVS. These are both great products, and I'll tell you the difference between the two. Rimmel's product you can wear without wearing any makeup. You can wear it alone. That's the major difference that I kind of took away from both of these, but they're both great. They don't leave any color behind, which is really, really nice. With deeper skin tone, I'm always concerned about, does it make me look ashy or whatever. That's why it's really kind of cool that you can use this without, putting any makeup over top of it. I've used it alone in my T-zone and then put a little powder on my face and rolled out. It's great. So these are 2 of my favorite inexpensive primers at the drugstore. Check them out. I love it. They're under $10. 2 of my favorite high-end primers are Becca's Ever Matte Poreless, Poreless Priming Protector. Is that what that says? Yeah. By Becca. This is fantastic. As well as Lorax Porefection Mattifying Face Primer. Now the difference between these 2 is with the Lorac, it has some treatment in it. I think it's salicylic acid is in here. So I especially like to use this in the hottest months of the year. Because those are the months when I tend to get a little breakout going on in my T-zone, usually my forehead, right in the center. When I get a breakout going on because it's so hot, because, that just drives, me back to being a teenager and getting zits. So yeah, this is, when I tend to use this. I love it if I've got an eruption coming. If I can feel a zit or that kind of a thing, this is what I use. Regardless, though, they're both great oil controlling primers that I use in my T-zone. And so just so you know, I use all of these in my T-zone. I don't use them on the rest of my face. My cheeks and chin tend to be dry, are normal during the summer and dry during the winter. So 4 great primers I hope you can check out. All right, eye primer. Now I don't have super oily lids, but I do like to have a very, very good eye product or eye priming product on hand during the spring and summer because I do have a ton of allergies. I'm allergic to everything. And that leads to watery eyes. I take my medicine, I take my Zyrtec, and regardless, fresh cut grass, I'm allergic to cats and dogs, which is hilarious. And, so anything like that can set me off if it's like right in my face. So I need a good eye primer because during the winter I don't have as many issues, but in the summer anything can come through. So my favorite drugstore primer, that eyeshadow primer that just really, really does a good job and works for me is Milani's eyeshadow primer. I love this stuff. It's going to be between $5 and $7 depending on where you get it. It's just a really, really great primer. Now my high-end favorite is NARS's Pro Prime Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. I love this stuff. It's such a good primer. I love the little doe foot applicator that comes with it. It is a high-end product though. The thing that I really love about both of these is they leave no color behind. That's essential for me. I don't like an eye primer that leaves a color behind. I like it to just look, like nothing is there. I just like to smooth it in, nothing is there. The advantage to me is I really do like the NARS a little better because I put the NARS all around my eye, a little bit in my brow area, so I have it doing a lot of jobs. It makes my brows stay in place, it makes my eyeshadow stay in place, and it makes my concealer stay in place under my eyes. So I really go to town with it, and I think, you know, depending on the eye primer that you use, you can get that. Like the Tarte 360 is another one that I used all the way around because it just works really well that way. But yeah, those are my favorite eye priming products. Now, my favorite pressed powders. I just discovered my favorite. I did a whole video where I tested out a whole bunch of drugstore pressed powders, and I found my favorite one in doing that video. My favorite drugstore powder is definitely Revlon's Nearly Naked. This is a fantastic powder. I use the shade Dark, and it's just such a good freaking powder. It's good for setting, it's good for touching up. I love this stuff. It's under $10. It's magnificent. Such a great powder. My favorite high-end powder is the Bare Minerals powder. This is Bare Minerals Ready Touch-Up Veil in Dark. And they also have a translucent powder that I've told you guys a lot about, so definitely that is an option. In the Ready formula, a translucent version. But they also come in colors. Now my color for the matte foundation powder is Golden Dark, so I have the Dark Ready powder. So it comes in different shades, and I just find this to be an excellent powder. Very, very nice shade. Doesn't change on me at any point during the day. Looks very, very natural. They both look very, very natural, and they just help keep me matte all throughout the day. So I love touching up for them, and they don't get cakey on me too. That's the other thing you have to watch out for pressed powder. If you have skin like mine, when you're touching up those areas like my T-zone, you don't want something that's going to cake up on you and look really, really good. You know, I know they call it cake, but you don't want to look like a cake, right? You just don't. All right, loose powders. I have two favorites, and they're kind of a little different than the other. They're kind of a little different from each other. My favorite loose powder from the drugstore is going to be a little bit harder to find. It's Black Opal's Invisible Oil Blocking Powder. It is oil absorbing, fantastic powder. It's really great for setting your under eye concealer. Great for that. It is messy because it is a loose powder. I wanted to tell you about pressed powders and loose powders because I know some people don't like loose powders. I, in a controlled area, like them, like on the top of my vanity is cool, but it's not like I'm taking this with me. But yeah, it's a loose powder that doesn't have much color to it and works fantastically to keep me really, really matte for hours when I set my makeup with it. The other one is a newer favorite. This was in the chopping block recently. It's Urban Decay's Naked Skin Ultra Definition Loose Finishing Powder. And I wear the shade Naked Dark. Really, really great powder. I love it. I just put my brush in there and just my big loose brush and Real Techniques loose brush and just go, it's like I'm painting a fence, and I just get my whole face looking marvelous. Marvelous, marvelous. Now my end all be all for everybody, this will work for everybody, favorite pressed product to use is Mally's Evercolor Poreless Face Defender. This is something I use all spring, summer long. It's in my purse, it's on my vanity. It's just a really, really great product. It's clear, and you pat it on with your dingy little thing, but it keeps you super, super matte all freaking day, okay? It's a great, great product. It is so pricey though. It's around 40 bucks or something like that. It's Mally's at Ulta now, but I tell you, it's the end all be all. Stila has a $30 product that I tested out that's really, really great. I definitely recommend that one as well if you want to save, like, you know, the 10 or so bucks. It's definitely worth it. The CoverGirl version works for me a little bit, but I have some issues with it as far as it moving my makeup because I really have to press it in. With this, I don't have to so much. So yeah, the CoverGirl version is a nice drugstore dupe. I just don't find that it's something that I prefer over the original or over the Stila product. So guys, I hope this was fun. We are going to talk about highlighters, blushes, lipsticks, bright lipsticks for the spring and summer. So I hope you'll join me for the rest of this series, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye bye.